out comes Cody Rhodes. And here was our segment. Let's make sense of everything. And Cody says, I think I know what everyone wants to talk about. And then says, and I quote, "What does it mean to ask for one man's soul?" I know that's a rather abstract phrasing. I was getting way too much enjoyment out of this. He says, "I have never lied to you, the people. I'm a blessed man. But this decision I have to make, it affects more than just me. It affects my family." He notes his wife, his daughter, Brody Jr., the Nightmare Factory, my mother, and I've got the memory of my father, who had to work into his 60s, bleeding on the indies, and I don't want that memory to mirror my future. The Rock can give me everything that I need without me having to scratch and claw for it. Now, before we get to the interruption here, I thought this guy did as good a job as he possibly could here to explain, like, why would I even entertain this? I'm rich beyond belief. I'm the top guy in this company, and he's trying to tie it into, like, Dusty was this major star, and Dusty was broke in the mid 2000s. This has been part of what Cody has spoken about when he was running like turnbuckle championship wrestling and such. I think it's still like a massive stretch here, but he tried to incorporate something real here to give. He basically had to say, I can't just turn down The Rock now. I've got to wait till Saturday, and this is why I'm not instantly turning this down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought he did a good job of just explaining why he's not immediately shutting the door on whatever proposition The Rock is offering him. And I think he's telling us not to take the soul thing literally, essentially is what he's trying to say. He, I'm taking this more to mean like an exchange for money and power that Dwayne Johnson, with his status in Hollywood would be able to afford. I think, Cody, what's consistent about the character is that he's doing all of this for his family. He's doing all of this for, Nightmare family and his real family. He's doing this for the legacy of his last name, and the type of offer that The Rock is giving him is some form of status, some form of power that'll afford Cody some form of generational wealth and status and power. A chance to
Instagram followers too.
Yeah. I mean,
hook him up with some bots.
That's easy to achieve, yeah. But it's a lot more sort of effective in hearing Cody talk about like the effect on his family rather than just kind of talking about Instagram followers, right? It's a chance to extend the legacy of his father's name, and I guess that's through Hollywood opportunities and shit like that.
Even when Rollins comes out, it's not like they could easily spell it out. It's not like this guy's. Put it this way, there was nothing that Cody could say that The Rock can offer him that is going to have the fans cheering if he accepted this from The Rock. Like, there's no conceivable way.
He's not going to accept
it. He's not going to. But that's the problem, is he is tasked with trying to give a devil's advocate argument in this. And I thought he did what he could here.
We want to see our heroes be tempted with the easy way out, and we want them to turn it down. And he at least has to, set it up that he's tempted by it.
So Seth comes out and notes that they have not been in the same ring together for nearly a year since WrestleMania. And I would like to be out here to congratulate you, to shake your hand, or say that I'm going to win the chamber and face you at Mania, but that's not why I'm here. What the hell are you thinking? We went to battle last year with Rock and Reigns, and by you not instantly slapping The Rock in the face, that was a slap to my face. And don't make me regret sacrificing everything so that you could become champion last year. And for what? Bit roles in his movies and followers on Instagram? Is the title becoming too much of a burden for you, Cody? Because it wouldn't be a burden for me. And Cody stops him and says, "You're starting to sound judgmental. The Rock came to SmackDown and he asked for my soul, not yours, because yours might be compromised." He reminds Rollins, "You once attacked me with a sledgehammer, and turned on the Shield, joining the Authority, and ran people like me out of WWE. And I also know that you were my Shield, my partner, and my brother at WrestleMania 40. You were the MVP of WrestleMania last year. So Rollins may be here to Rollins says, I might be here to protect you from the mistakes I made in the past. I'm so filled with hate lately, mainly pointed at Punk and Reigns. Don't make me hate you. I want to win the chamber and face you, but I want to face the Cody Rhodes that came back, beat me at WrestleMania 38, dug down and beat me with one arm, and the guy who won the title last year. I'm not coming for your soul. I'm coming for your title. I wish he pointed and did the opposite of Dwayne on Friday.
I thought this segment with Rollins and Cody was excellent, and I it kind of makes me miss the chemistry that Cody had with like the current roster on Raw between like Rollins and like a Sami Zayn. Like on SmackDown,
Punk.
he's got a Punk. You know, on SmackDown, Cody has a great partner in like Kevin Owens. Occasionally, maybe like a Roman Reigns, although not to this level even. But man, I just kind of miss these sort of Cody promo segments with like the great crop of guys you have on Raw.
Well, I think there's a good shot that we're going to be seeing plenty of Cody on Raw for this build up to Mania. I think like this will be where like we know Cena's got the dates on Raw, and I think you will be seeing him.
Did they come up with a reason for why he's able to be on Raw past the transfer window?
Who's this?
Cody.
Oh no, you're just it's
oh, whatever. He's famous, right? I thought Rollins did a great job digging more out of Cody, like, you know, just to kind of like make this whole soul thing feel a little bit more real. You know, it's more of a question about why you are choosing to follow this guy rather than why are you choosing to give your soul to this guy. I thought Cody did a great job of pointing out Rollins' hypocrisy since he became himself a corporate champion when he turned on the Shield. So it was great usage of their own WWE history to draw some of these parallels. I love that Rollins following up is saying that maybe I'm here to tell you what to not make the same mistakes that I made. There's some really great like, you know, backstory storytelling from both of them here. So these writers, I'm sure, were handed this very late into the week, and over the past weekend they did a great job of taking the material that the Rock and Cody gave us on Friday, turning it into, I think, a very cohesive segment here tonight.
I think they did as much as they could with this, but I think overall, I think like there's a larger issue if in fact this is a case that we have our TV laid out, we have our directions laid out, and we just have to play reaction because something gets dropped on us. Are you confident that like all parties are on the same page and we're all going in the same direction and we all know 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps ahead? Or is there a lot of just like this feels very much just like we are reacting to what is thrust upon us?
So of course I agree with that, John. You know, ideally a show is written and planned out and executed exactly as planned. But we don't know what the demands of a Dwayne Johnson career is. It's sort of unprecedented. Even a John Cena schedule isn't necessarily like a Dwayne Johnson schedule. I can imagine, again, being the star level that he is, I can imagine them telling Dwayne, if you're available, if you suddenly find out with 24 hours that you're available, give us a call. We will write you into our show. And it's to the company's benefit that they would ultimately, it's to their benefit that they would find a role for him, even if it's on a 24-hour notice. Right, John? So and not to mention the fact that like this is kind of what professional wrestling is. You deal with injuries, you deal with like, you know, people suddenly not showing up, you deal with like just the unknown all the time, and you write around it. That's what makes professional wrestling so interesting and so unique. So I don't necessarily think that they might get frustrated at times, but at the same time it's also sort of like ingrained in what a professional wrestling writing job entails.
Ultimately, it's if the end product is satisfying to your audience and it's effective, it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. You're judging the end product. And I think people saw Friday a glimpse into a story that they were not sinking their teeth into, that they were not necessarily interested in.
But the end product is, well, the alternative is not having Dwayne Johnson attached at all. And I would argue a lot of people would prefer to have Dwayne Johnson attached.
I don't think it's a either or. I think that you could have had a segment with The Rock. You could do a segment with Cody Rhodes, and it's not met with such a universal panning as Friday had, that people would be excited for what is happening.
So for me, I don't know what their full story is, so I'm not necessarily bashing it on that. I didn't like Friday because of The Rock's performance. I thought it was too loose and too messy. And not, I don't want to say like rehearsing is sort of like a dirty word when it comes to professional wrestling, but I thought he needed a little bit of rehearsing, a little bit more preparedness. That's why I was disappointed in it. But we don't know what the end story is, and we'll find out on Saturday. If you like this video, consider joining our Patreon, the Post Wrestling Cafe. Multiple bonus podcasts every week, ad-free shows, and access to our full archive. Otherwise, a like and subscribe is much appreciated. Thank you for watching.